All right, ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? Hope you guys are good. Little live stream here. I know I took a little bit of a hiatus 2 months ago, but we are back and super excited about it. A lot of stuff has changed, a lot of cool things I want to get into. But today's topic, and I get to in a second, but today's topic, um, there's a lot of stuff. I kind of have it be as like an ask me anything. I had some people message me on Instagram, hey, Sean, when are you doing like another live stream? So I figured I'd just hop on. Really, today's most likely, guys, just about an ask me anything. I really want to just kind of have an open platform, go into detail on, hey, here's exactly what you guys are facing with regarding like different challenges and whatnot. And yeah, just some stuff that I can hopefully answer, and we'll go from there. So I'm super excited about it. But leave in the chat below if you guys have any questions. Obviously, I want to see if there's anything that I can um, ask for you guys or answer, which is really helpful. And today, what I'm actually going to be doing, guys, is I'm going to be talking about content marketing. I'm going to be talking about pretty much how we were able to get, as you can see here, the past 90 days, how we were able to spike our views by over 1,000%, about 3,000 increase percent in reach. We were able to get about 100% increase in link clicks and about almost 800% content interactions. Views are up and follows are up as well. Now, I will say for the most part, we're more active on TikTok and LinkedIn, and obviously YouTube for that matter. But I just want to show you guys a strategy that I've actually been implementing to get not just more reach, more views, but ultimately, this is the metric I really wanted to increase: link clicks, going specifically to the link, scheduling a call to action, call, whatever. So yeah, let's get started here. But before we do this, I want to just check a couple things out, make sure we're good in the chat. Hope you guys are doing well, by the way. Super excited for this. And it's good to be back. It's good to be live streaming again. I really enjoy this. I think this is actually one of the most enjoyable pieces of content that I do. And what's funny is I literally watched an Alex Hormozy live stream. I think it was about, 3-4 days ago, and he was just like, hey guys, I was on vacation, now I'm back, and we're going to be doing pretty much, he wants to continue doing live streams, kind of like what he did with his $100 million money models launch, which did obviously 100 million in revenue, which was incredible. But yeah, so pretty much, guys, what I'm going to be doing is going into the strategy itself. Now, obviously, if you guys have any questions, feel free to email me at sean@needmomentum.com, as well as call me 215-607-6482. That's my cell. You can call, text me. I'll put it on speaker as we're doing the live stream so we can get some good engagement, some good questions, all that stuff. But otherwise, I'm super excited. I'm really, excited to get, started here. And if you guys have any, obviously, questions, you don't want to call in, just send me an email and we will go from there. So I'm super excited about it. And just want to check a couple of things technically. So give me 1 second, then we can start this bad boy up. But if you guys are having a good week so far, if you guys are having a great week, put some W's in the chat. You guys are having a W week. I had an amazing week. Literally got back to the swing of things, and there's a lot of good things in the pipeline. I think September is always, people are, kids are going back to school. People are starting to kind of take their business a little bit more seriously, so things are starting to pick up a little bit more, which is crazy because it's been a banner year. But hope you guys have been doing really, really well. And yeah, so other than that, it's been a really, really good week. If you guys are catching a lot of W's, put some W's in the chat. Hope you guys are winning. Hope you guys are doing all right. But let's get started. So today's lesson, for the most part, I really just want to talk about how to get more leads from social media. And this is literally a case study that I ran myself in my own company to show you guys ultimately how you can get more leads using the strategy. So again, this strategy is good for Instagram, TikTok. I mean, all the platforms out there. We've tested across the board. I really just want to show you our insights with Meta, because Meta, for the most part, we're having a lot of success with it. And it's not about the type of content we're putting out there. It's not like we're doing another genre. Like, for the most part, we take a lot of like viral, trendy stuff that's very interesting with momentum. But for the most part, we do a lot of interesting, like if there's an update on digital marketing, if there is a new partnership that we're a part of, that's obviously what we'll do. But for the most part, what we actually do now is we make our reels shorter. That's pretty much all we've been doing. We make our reels shorter. Now, I know people are like, oh, well, Sean, like that doesn't really make a lot of sense. Like, what's the strategy behind it? The strategy goes into increasing, in my opinion, probably the most important metric possible is the percentage watched on your videos, right? The percentage watched on your videos. Now, I know a lot of people are like, well, Sean, does it matter? Does it not matter? Because you have to think, if I get asked all the time, what is better, to have a 10-second reel and people watch 100% of it, or to have a, multiple hour long stream and have people watch 10% of it? Because listen, 10% of a 2-hour, podcast is still, very, very, it's not what you would like to have it be, but it's still decent, right? They're still consuming, right? And my opinion always goes back to this. So if you look at some math here, right? Let me just do some quick and easy math for you guys. This is how I break it down, right? So I'll do a reel here, right? Reel. And then I'll do a podcast right here, right? So a podcast, well, let me start with this. A reel, let's just say for the most part, let's just say you make a 10-second reel, and for the most part, they watch 5 seconds of it on average, right? So that's 5 seconds watched out of a 10-second reel. And obviously that is equating to a 50% watch rate, right? 50%, okay? Whereas if you have a podcast, and again, I know like the more time spent with an audience is better, but if you're just doing like another reel, instead of a podcast, let me just do this. If I do another reel, right? Now a lot of people say, oh, like, so reel 1, reel 2. If you have a reel that is, let's just say for instance, 30 seconds long, right? And people watch 10 seconds of it, right? Or maybe not that dramatic. Let me do something a little, just to show my point here. Let's say you have a 60-second reel and people only watch 10 seconds of it, right? So 10 seconds out of 60. And what is that? 1 out of 6. To round up, we'll just say 17%, right? 17% watch rate, right? So here's my whole logic behind it, guys. At the end of the day, you want to make content, in my opinion, that, obviously there's a lot of different ways out there, but this, strategy is just for, actually how to get more leads. From what I'm seeing, to get people in your algorithm faster and to get more views and to ultimately get more leads, what I've actually done is I've made my reels considerably shorter for momentum. So essentially we can get in higher average watch rate percentage, right? Because ultimately what's happening is we're getting in people's algorithms faster because they're checking out the content longer, right? So it's essentially, the whole point is, if you can get, again, for most part, 5-10 second reel, if people are watching the majority of that reel, they're going to get in the algorithm. They're going to be sticky. They're going to be in the algorithm. So essentially meaning you're, for the most part, actually getting more and more and more and more leads, simply because people are in the algorithm, they're following you, they're engaging a little bit more. And then the cool thing is, okay, maybe they check out one reel that's 10 seconds, and then boom, they go to another reel, and it's another 10-second reel. They like that, engage with that, and before you know it, they're opting into your newsletter or your call to action, whatever it is, right? Whereas if they watch 10 seconds of a 60-second reel, right, it's only 17%. Maybe it's a little too long, and then they swipe, right? they swipe to the next video, the next reel, whatever it is, and then you're gone, right? You don't essentially get that stickiness as you do with a reel that's a little bit shorter, right? So this is the whole logic behind it, is you want to get a longer average duration, and it's a very simple fix. Just make your reels shorter. Now, again, I'm not saying, because if you have a longer reel that you want to essentially kind of explain and have it be a little bit more informational, that obviously is very, very helpful. But I'm saying for the majority of people out there, I think a lot of businesses, they make content that is longer than 60 seconds, 45, 60 seconds. It's still good content, but at the end of the day, it's not the content that's ultimately going to drive better awareness and just make it more sticky, right? And it's cool too, because I'll show you guys some real world examples in a second from one of our other clients. But the nice thing is we can actually get just, again, better leads and more feedback from shorter reels, which is really, really nice, right? So real quick, I'll show you guys one of our clients, and who's that guy? And what we're actually able to do is generate very, very short reels that actually drive a very high, as you can see here, number of views. And as time goes on, we're obviously going to get more people to actually go to our website here, right? So pretty much this is one of the great. So this reel is like 4 or 5 seconds, right? Going off of very trendy thing. So perhaps for the lady, perhaps a salad, the white chicks, I think that's from, right? Perhaps not, so it's very, very funny there. Getting a lot of engagement, we got a lot of comments. This is great. And you want to start obviously with a very nice hook, right? So just some funny stuff there. That's cool. And again, this is all of 10 seconds, right? So my whole point is kind of proven where you're getting a lot of views based off of this. It's really, really easy. It's really, really cool. And, as time goes on, you're only going to get more traction, right? Which is really, really cool. So, guys, it's pretty much all I wanted to get into today. The math pretty much, goes for itself. You guys can check out this case study here too. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I think, as time goes on, this is going to be one of these things that is just a lot better, because you're going to be, in my opinion, really just getting more value, out of these live streams, and you're ultimately going to be getting more views from making shorter reels. So if you guys enjoyed this video, like, comment, subscribe. That being said, I appreciate the time. It's going to be back.